Today, I am really, really excited to be introducing Kate to you, Kate Tarratt Cross, who I have met through networking. We were doing a course together, and I just know that Kate is amazing at what she does, and we found a bit of what's the word for it? Synergy around working with families, didn't we, Kate?
Yes, we did.
But Kate is a breathwork instructor. I call her an international woman of mystery because she's always traveling, and she runs retreats all over the world, and she is a culinary wellness expert and author, and her book is called, what's it called? Get
Get your glow back and reclaim your energy.
Get your glow back and reclaim your energy. Well, who does not want that? But through your retreats, which are they always with women or mainly with women or
They're mainly with women, but I don't have a policy. I'm not a strictly women
no?
only. I have had a handful of men come through the retreats,
Yeah,
but it is generally women
yeah.
come on the retreat.
But through that, you've also got to working with some families, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's where Kate contacted me and said, "Hey, I think we need to talk." And she gave me a taster session of her SOMA breath work, and it was truly amazing, and really was a very nourishing um, thing. Seems not the right word to call it. A nourishing experience, which is what Kate is all about. Really, you're about nourishment, aren't you? For the soul and for the body. Um, and I was interested because this breath work there's a lot of people talking about breath work at the moment. It's very much out there. I know people who do it. I've met other people at networking, and to be honest, all of them give me different experiences of what it is. So I'm going to give Kate an opportunity in a minute to explain what her great breath work is about. But um, for I think is there anything else I need to say to introduce you, Kate? I know you're passionate about working with individuals so that they can restore their energy, their clarity, and their vitality, and that you use an awful lot of different tools, and that you are just amazing at holding space.
Thank you, Inga. That was a
So,
very lovely introduction. Thank you.
so I would love for you to start with just telling us what Soma breath actually is. Um,
Mm.
I think let us understand that first. So
Yes.
over to you.
I would love to explain. So, Soma Breath was founded by somebody called Niraj Nayak through his own wellness journey and his background. He ended up going to India, studying with the yogis, and healed his own illness, and has now put three components together that make up Soma breath. So it's the binaural beat music, which gets your brain waves into a calm state so you can find deep relaxation without having to spend hours meditating. The breath work, which I must say all stems from ancient pranayama. And the breathwork sequence is a series of rhythmic breathing followed by a breath hold. And the third component is
Just just
visualization.
just for those that don't know what pranayama is.
So, this is the yogis thousands of years ago were studying the animal kingdoms, and they noticed that the larger animals took fewer breaths and lived longer, and the smaller animals took lots of breaths and lived for a very short time. And so they realized that as humans, we could control our breath. And so they started experimenting with the breath and came to the conclusion that we all needed to slow our breathing down and breathe in a more conscious manner and breathe deeply into our bellies And then they started experimenting with lots of different types of breathing techniques. But science has caught up with the knowledge that they knew thousands of years ago, and have realized that yes, there's a lot to be said about the way you breathe. And I mentioned earlier that the breathing rhythm in the SOMA um, method is rhythmic breathing, and then I mentioned a breath hold, because the holding your breath allows carbon dioxide levels to rise. And that might sound a bit strange because we all think that carbon dioxide is a toxic byproduct, but small doses have been shown to take the oxygen and transport it into deep into the cells, deep into all the areas in your body that need reparation and need healing. And so there were two physicians that discovered this. And you may be aware that if somebody is having a panic attack or hyperventilating, a common sort of aid would be to give a paper bag. So, in essence, you are breathing back in the carbon dioxide, and that helps to get the oxygen in and calm your whole system down. So, when you hold your breath as well, your body utilizes oxygen more efficiently. And what you will tend to have happen is your body will get comfortable in that place. So, when you come up against stressful situations, instead of gasping in and going into this mode, you will rather approach the situation from that kind of mode. And the problem with the gasping mode is means that you start to take too much oxygen in. So as we are living a stressful life, a lot of us tend to breathe too much, take too much oxygen in and breathe into our chests. And so too much oxygen is connected to inflammation. So we want to try and get a steady flow of oxygen.
And of course, when you are in relationship and in relationship with teenagers, there can certainly be moments of gasping in panic and stress and shock and horror.
Yeah, so imagine if you approached it from a calmer place. It
Yeah.
might just allow things.
So so do you want to just because I love the way that you got in touch with me and said I've just had the most beautiful experience of working using my Soma breath practice with a family, and you know I think there aren't many people that work with both um, parents and children in the way that I do and now you do. So and I think there's something really beautiful about the a practice that just gives to everybody.
Yeah.
It's I get so many, when life in a family is really difficult. Of course, we love the amazing experiences and the big holidays and the adventures and all of this, but really, what it boils down to is that you can have a meal together without somebody breaking down, and that you can watch a film together in the evening and agree on a film and be in the same room together. So that experience of just being together. I remember with my kids when I stopped driving them to school because they stopped going to school, I suppose, or we moved so they could walk to school. I really missed just that being in each other's space feeling. We weren't necessarily talking, but that there's something so lovely about that. So do you want to tell me about that story, or us about that
Yes.
experience of using?
Yes, I think the initial reasons for doing a breathwork session is to find a connection, actually, a connection in a calm place, in a calm manner. And so the whole experience is really fun because if I do a breathwork session, I usually start with a little bit of physical movement. So again, going back to the animal kingdom, it was noted that when animals shake their bodies when they get stressed or traumatized, and so an energizing breathwork session will start with a bit of movement and a bit of shaking. So this can be, if you're quite shy, can be a little bit daunting. So it's a great way to break the ice down and have some fun and get everybody to relax. So that's the first thing. And then, of course, you get to, pick the music of choice. And that's often the teenagers get to choose what music resonates for them. And that initially gets everybody a little bit relaxed. But the breathing part is just so phenomenal, because when we breathe in this way, we start to calm our nervous systems down. So we get into a place of calm really quite quickly. And it's something that we all do. We do it together. And when people breathe together, it adds a whole another dimension. So there have been studies to show that, I don't know if you've heard of the Heart Math Institute. Yeah, so there's lots of studies around what happens to our heart patterns when we get into a state of calm, coherence. And they've even gone so far as measured the distance that the electromagnetic field can be picked up around us, which I think it goes up to 5 meters. 5 feet or 5 meters. Apparently, they say it extends further, but they haven't proved that yet. So imagine in the room, if you get into a state of coherence, which you do, breathing, because the breathing pattern, I don't, without giving a whole lesson on the nervous system, but the breathing pattern will get you into a state of coherence or deep relaxation. And so that is now, how would you say, the field around you is, I can't get the word out, you know what I'm trying to say, expanding. Thank you, Inga, is expanding. So in a room, and yes, you're already bonded as family, but even if there's been tension, it's very soon going to dissipate with this field expanding of good feelings, of, coherence, and you're breathing together in a rhythm, and it unifies you in a way that is just so special. And everybody gets to have a place of calm, united, but internalized at the same time. So you can all go into your own within, but be connected and bonded at the same time. And it's a very pleasurable experience for everybody. And at the end of it, yeah, everybody is just on a different plane.
Yeah, I mean, I
You're
can only
floating.
speak, the experience I had, which was just me. It really, and actually just now when I connected with you, I could just almost feel myself breathing deeper and slower. So maybe, because my brain had that experience when
Yeah.
you did the test for me, I kind of tuned in back into that. And also, I mean, my expectations of it, I've been doing a lot of breath work meditation in the last year with Dr. Joe Dispenza. So I was very positively surprised by how effective your guidance, and I think that's important to say as well, that you are there talking a family through it, aren't you?
Yes, and that's the third component that you can use in a very powerful way. It's the visualization. So when we are in a place of calm, our brains become very plastic, right? There is a great potential to implant or install good ideas or new habits or new approaches or perceptions. And so the visualization can be very, very useful if there's something particular that you want to address or work on, and it can subtly be woven into the experience, which again can be very helpful for guiding families to, go down a path that they would rather.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, so if you set the intention of everybody being able to slow their reactions down a bit before they respond,
Exactly.
or just for everybody to feel mm, perhaps more on the same page with whatever arises, that
Yeah.
perhaps we can decide that we want the same thing, we just have different ways of and giving
Yeah.
each other space, or whatever that intention would be. Is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely. Yeah. So it's using neural NLP, neuro
Neurolinguistic.
linguistic programming. So you're just planting suggestions that are helpful, and we are all creators of our own path of our own life. So this is a great moment for us to just tune into who we want to be, how we want to be, how our lives want to be. And yeah, and you can be guided along that just with some simple suggestion.
And so I think for families who decide to see if they can work with you, I think it's a great opportunity to. Oops, sorry, I thought I'd turned that off. Um, Silent mode is now off. A great opportunity for everybody in the family to contribute to what they would like. So because teenagers are striving for autonomy, and the whole wild ride of adolescence is about coming out the other end with being yourself. And of course that's a process, and it can often cause conflict.
Yeah.
And but I think as parents it would be it's that's a really positive contribution. So what would you like? What's your intention?
Yeah.
What would you like from this? Well, for you to listen more, or whatever the issue might be. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And something else I noticed was that as parents were watching your children, and I'm not speaking from experience, it's only from observation, that children, if they're stressed, if they're going through a stressful period, the parent can then feel stress. So if you have a modality like breathing that can help the child to be in a more relaxed state, and it's inevitably going to make the parent feel more relaxed, and vice versa. So you get that, you
Mm,
know, other.
Lovely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what would be a simple starting point? What would that look like for a family who wants to use breath work to feel calmer and more connected?
So a simple starting point would just be to dedicate a moment where you all sit down together. And if you want to simply start, you would breathe in coherent. So you would breathe, maybe set aside 3 minutes or 5 minutes of breathing in for 4 counts and breathing out for 4 counts. And just try to make that intention that you're all going to do it together. But then, of course, there are lots of meditations or breathing audios that you could listen to together.
Yes.
Or you would take, an opportunity to use a breathwork instructor. So, for instance, if I were asked to do a session, then I would propose you set aside 30 to 40 minutes for your first session, and do it in a sitting room, a common place,
Yeah.
neutral ground,
Yeah. Mm.
um, and where there's lots of space for everybody to lie down and to move about. And then the session would be guided to get you
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
activate your body, to then calm down. I use humming as well, which is a great little tool that anybody can use at any time. And what it does is it raises the nitric oxide levels, which open all your capillaries and your vessels so that the blood can flow more freely. And it also calms the nervous system, and it massages that vagus nerve.
Vagus nerve,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Because of the vibration, it's like a little massage.
Yeah.
And apparently, it's impossible to have a negative thought when you hum. So, humming is just something good to have, and that could be another starting point if there's anything that triggers the family, or there's a little talk moment, then you can just start humming. And yeah,
You can't,
exactly.
yeah, I know. I mean, I think that's
Exactly.
amazing. It's really worth trying, isn't it? You
Yeah.
cannot have a, well, I used to think of it as an anxious thought if you're
Yeah.
humming.
Yeah.
And then that could also work as a signal to everybody in the family. Okay, we've got some anxiety or some negative,
Yeah.
let's just press
Exactly.
pause. Let's not feed
Yeah.
the fire. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if anybody listening on this, if they wanted to find you, Kate, how would they find you?
Yes, so I will give you all my details that you can
Put in the comments.
contact me. Yeah, so I am on Facebook and Instagram, and have
So when this goes live, will you put it in? Will you put your?
absolutely. I'll go in the comments and I'll put how you can get in touch with me, or you go to Inga and she will put you in touch with me.
Right, so just any space on your next retreat? Kate has just done one retreat in the south of France, yes?
Yes, that's
And now
right.
you're
Yeah.
doing one in Italy.
In Italy, yes, and I still have a couple of places on there. So if anybody wants to get away and really immerse themselves in some time and space to just focus on your needs, and this could be a good opportunity. And I really am on a mission to change the story that you're being selfish if you put yourself first by giving yourself a break, because you literally cannot help other people if you are not in a good state. So we're
Kate,
changing that
I
story.
have to say that so often to parents.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I see it all the time. Oh, I can't because of this, because of that. And then I have had so many parents say, you know what? I've just done this retreat. It's not just me benefiting, my whole family is going to benefit from this.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I know it sounds so trite, that metaphor of putting the oxygen mask on
Yeah.
yourself first,
that-
but it's also so very true, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Any last words of wisdom for families struggling with kind of stress, anxiety,
Yeah.
overwhelm?
Yeah, really don't underestimate the power of the breath. It's the side effects of practicing just 20 minutes twice a week are profound. So don't forget to breathe and hum and have fun.
Breathe, hum, and have fun. That's a brilliant
Yeah.
tagline.
And then just thank you so much, Inga. I love the work you do, and yeah, so I'm very inspired, and I really appreciate this moment to share this
Absolute pleasure, and
time.
because I know from having tried it how profound it is. So yeah, I would encourage everybody to have a retreat with Kate, or and definitely look at the breathing. I mean, and what I notice, Kate, if parents tell, you know, because often the solution that we're given is, oh, do square breathing, do 7-11 breathe, do this breathe, do that. And often when parents tell their children to what to breathe, they just kind of get the hand, because it's just annoying being told to breathe. Well,
Yeah,
of course I'm breathing. We all breathe all the time. But I think um, just that thing, just it's very easy. You can reframe it. You can say it in a different way. You can say, okay, I can hear you are really stressed and struggling. Can we just step back? Let's just breathe together. Let's just try and do a couple of deep, slow
yeah,
breaths
yeah,
in, and hold the breath.
yeah,
Slowly let it out.
yeah,
And if you do it with your child, you don't get met with that resistance quite so much
Yeah.
is what I think. So
Yeah.
even if parents just came to you just to do some for themselves, it will translate because they are then putting the oxygen mask on yourself, on
Yeah.
themselves first. So yeah, that's also
Yeah.
an option.
And then with the music elements and everything in the actual SOMA components, lots of
Yeah,
children who were resistant to try it, they get curious because if I'm in
yes,
person, I use headsets, or if it's online, you have to use the headphones, and they get curious, and then straight away the music,
I
it
know, it's
starts to
amazing.
calm you. Yeah. So
Yeah, it is amazing.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's great.
All right. Well, thank you very much for making
Thank you.
time
Thank you.
for our little live here. So everybody who's watching, Kate will put her details in below, and do connect in with her. And I'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Meanwhile, if you have any parenting teenager questions, just contact me in the DMs, and I will do my best to answer them in the next live. And Kate, feel free to share this with whoever you want to share it with.
I certainly will. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay.
Thank you, Inga.
Bye, lovely.
Bye
Bye.
bye.